Hey Greensburg, let me propose a challenge to you, and by a challenge I mean don't really do this, it's to make a point. I challenge you to go to any four-way intersection, a four-way stop sign, and remove all of the stop signs, take them out of there, and then just sit back and watch what happens. Now, if you know anything about traffic and you know anything about four-way stops, then you know that chaos is going to ensue. There's going to be wrecks. It'll be a matter of minutes before everything collapses in on itself. The reason for that is because the stop signs show us something about ourselves that we need to know. You see, I stop at a stop sign because it's the law, and the law is meant to protect me not only from myself and my own selfish ways that I can fall into, but then also other people and the selfish ways that other people can fall into. And when we remove the stop sign, the reason that chaos happens is because there's something deep inside of us that is broken that makes us need stop signs. In other words, the stop sign doesn't cure the problem. So having laws doesn't cure the problem. What the laws do is they simply reveal to us that we have a problem, and the solution can't be found in the law. That's why nobody's driving habits have been changed or miraculously healed, because there are stop signs present.
Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum.
Now, for me personally, that idea that I just shared is the reason that I believe what I believe, because in this book called the Bible, the reason that I believe every word in this book is because the core teaching of the Bible is that there is a problem, and that problem is people. It's a problem that we all inherit and that we all have, called sin. And the reality is that we can try our hardest to try to fix that problem that we have, but the results are that the more that we try, the more that we just highlight that we have the problem, because we're incapable of fixing the problem. So the idea is that people think that there's this book that teaches all these laws and gives us this code of conduct that we're supposed to live by, but the reality is that the Bible is not that so much. In fact, the first 5 books of the Bible are referred to as the law, and the Bible talks about those in this context. Without getting into too much of a lesson about this, I want to highlight and illustrate something here, a point that's important in the discussion that we're about to have. There's a verse in the Bible that says that Gentiles, who are people that were not Jewish, or were not the Israelites in that day, they had obtained a righteousness, and the reason that they obtained a righteousness is not because they pursued a righteousness, or the reason that they became good is not because they pursued goodness, and the reason that they obtained righteousness is because they pursued righteousness that was by faith, or the belief in someone, that someone being Jesus Christ, as opposed to Israel, who was given the law code, and they pursued a law that would lead to righteousness. In other words, they hoped that having the laws and the rules and the regulations would lead them to what they needed to fix their problem, but they found that at the end of that pursuit was just still the idea that they're still broken people, because the law was not meant to fix anything. There's only one thing that can fix the people problem, and that's the gospel of Jesus Christ. But that doesn't mean that laws and regulations and rules are not a good thing. In fact, I personally realize that I don't want to live in a world with no stop signs, because if you take the stop signs out, then people quit being reminded that there is a problem. The solution can come through all this, but in the meantime, as we're moving towards that, the laws and the regulations and the rules all help us to be able to exist together and create some sort of harmony and peacefulness that's needed, that we can all function in this place called the community. How cool is it that we live in a government in this country where the people get to decide the laws and the different things, and we elect officials that are supposed to represent, and sure, it's a broken system that doesn't work perfectly, but I think it's the best system that we could have. And it's built on this idea that we, the people, participate so that we can create this more perfect union, this more perfect area to exist in, from the local level to the state level to the even the national level. We get to be a part of all of that. And a lot of people like me have been raised in this, grown up in this, and I take it for granted. I got to be honest with you. This vlog is about the city of Greensburg, of course, and about how I'm becoming a part of the city, and I want to change the city. I want to show off the city. I want to highlight different things about the city. But here's what I've started to realize today. It's kind of got to me because it's Tuesday. I'm going into the office to work, and I have not thought that much about voting. Even looking over in this field over here, and there's tons and tons of signs about politicians and people running for offices that will directly impact my children, me, and everything around me, and I know nothing about them. That's not taking the responsibility that's given to me seriously, is it? If I'm being totally honest, not only do I see the need to get involved, but I also don't really fully get and understand how to get involved. But the reality is that when I get down to the thinking about the things that they're actually going to do in the community that I exist in, not only could I not tell you who the people are, but let me be just totally honest, I don't even know what the positions necessarily do. So then you know what I do? What I tend to do is I see all the problems that exist in my community and all the things that I disagree with and that I'm not happy about, and then I complain about them. But isn't it insane to complain about something that I don't do anything about? So here's my question for you. What are you doing to change what you don't like? Are you one of these people that are nothing more than a complainer that rings your voice as loud as you can to as many people as you can, and everybody knows what you're mad about and everybody knows what you are against, but the reality is you've taken no steps to make any change and do anything? Now, here's the problem with that. The problem is with that is the reason that everybody gets so annoyed at complainers is because there is a solution for the complaining. It's not like we don't have a voice, and it's not like we don't have the chance to make a change. The problem is we're unwilling to work in the system that we've been given and put the effort in to learn what we need to learn and to teach what we need to teach. Maybe I can take what is happening here, and if I'm doing what I should be doing and there's a lack of knowledge and there's a lack of understanding and I believe that there's a problem that needs to be solved, maybe I can consider how I can leverage this sort of situation, this sort of vlog, to be able to help get the information out about who the candidates are that are running and what the purpose is of each one of the positions. How are you involved in learning and figuring out what's happening in your community? Do you just exist in the community because you're a consumer, consuming and taking all things, or do you participate in the community that you have the opportunity to be a part of? For me personally, I'm going to see how I can change. I'm going to see how I can know that the voting's coming up, understand the issues that are at hand, and understand the candidates and the positions that those candidates are looking to fill. Thank you so much for watching. I love doing this. I love to see your comments. I love to have the discussions with you. I appreciate what you're saying and what you're doing. Hey, I'm excited about what we're changing together, and I look forward to just learning more about our city and being a part of our city, because this is my city, Greensburg.